So life is a journey, and for a portion of your life, you're gonna basically be a passenger on your own damn journey, as somebody else, i.e. parents, coaches, what have you, will be pretty much driving you in the direction that they want you to go. And that's good. You need that GPS when you're young, but at some point, you gotta take the wheel. And when you do, it's guaranteed that you're gonna get lost, you're gonna run out of gas, and dude, that shit is all a part of the process as you learn how to pick your own destination and then navigate to them joints. For Devin Gardner, subject of today's video, destination was on another continent. But whatever works. Alright man, if you enjoy these videos, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell, enable your notifications. That way you'll be notified every time I post. And don't forget to like and share the video, as that helps the channel continue to grow. Let's get it.
It's not easy to get out of Detroit and do great things. All the adversity I faced while living in Detroit, it made me who I am today. Being able to come out of that. And I feel like I can be the beacon of light, it really is possible. You can make something out of it.
Devin Gardner was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, where he saw things that matured him fast. 4 siblings and was raised by a single mother who managed to raise 5 kids. I don't know how these ladies do it. I got 1 kid, he's 2, and bruh, Devin took naturally to sports, but like many talented kids, he lacked discipline. In 2007, as a high school sophomore, Devin was suspended from his team for getting into trouble. It was the first time something like this had happened to him, and this moment of discipline, honestly, changed the course of his life. Devin ended up transferring to Inkster High, and by the time the next football season rolled around, the junior quarterback had taken the starting spot. He then led his new squad to the state championship game in football and basketball.
Inkster came into this game 22-1 and came out rocking to start the third. Junior Devin Gardner might be tossing the football at U of M in a year and a half, but he can also throw the 3.
He was even invited to the Elite 11 camp, where he was praised for his maturity, leadership, footwork, and abilities in the classroom. Barry Every, a national analyst for Rivals.com, ranked Devin as the top overall quarterback at the Elite 11 camp based on long-term potential and the ability to win football games. Scouts were in love with this cat, and he was rated as a 5-star recruit by Scout.com. So in 2010, Devin signed to Michigan, and originally it was thought that he would be competing for the starting job, but of course we know Denard Robinson, who I actually did a video on earlier this week, he took that job. Devin, however, did play in a couple games as a freshman, and he managed to score 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 passing. 2011 saw Devin get more snaps, but he was still serving in a backup role. Devin had gone there thinking he'd be a perfect fit for Rich Rodriguez's spread offense, but after Rich was fired, Devin decided to stay at the school anyway. Him being from Detroit, I'm sure it was a big thing for him to go to that school. Devin's time at Michigan was honestly marked by instability, constantly changing coaches, coordinators, and even constantly changing positions. In 2012, he tried his hand at wide receiver, and he was actually the leading receiver on the team through the first 4 games of the year. But as the season progressed, Denard suffered an injury, and bam, Devin was back at QB, and now he was starting. But Devin was ready, bro. He had been waiting on this opportunity, and he ended up doing something that Denard Robinson never did at Michigan. Scored 6 touchdowns in a game. When the 2013 season rolled around, Denard had moved on to the NFL, and this was now Devin's team. He immediately made his presence felt, right? Early in the 2013 season, Devin was awarded the Tom Harmon's Michigan Football Legends jersey, becoming the first Michigan player to wear number 98 in over 70 years, bro. It's an odd looking number, it's very distinct, but it's done for an honorable reason. Devin went on to break the single game passing record with 503 yards in a single game. Then he also broke Denard's single game total yards record with 584 yards. He finished the season with nearly 3,000 passing yards, 500 rushing yards, and 32 total touchdowns. But the following season wouldn't go so well. The 2014 season saw Devin fight through a ton of adversity, including a really bad ankle sprain where he had to limp off the field but refused to stay out. Dude limped back onto the field and fought through it, and was able to lead his team to the victory versus Penn State. At this point in the season, it's his last year. The team is like 2-4. And being 2-4 in college football season, we know what that means. But he was still fighting like this. The dude had crazy heart. And that's honestly going to be the main thing I think he's remembered for. After being goose-egged by Notre Dame and then embarrassed by Utah, Devin Gardner, 5th-year senior quarterback, was benched. Devin managed to handle this in a mature fashion, and he gave credit to growing up with siblings and being picked on. And he also talked about reading a lot, which really gives you perspective, bro. When you read, you realize other people have been through similar things or worse things, and here's how they dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? Here's how they came out on the other side. When you get that perspective, it allows you to kind of look beyond yourself or look beyond your issues and realize, yo, this ain't the end of the world. I'll be all right. So even after getting benched as a 5th-year senior, Devin was still the consummate teammate, supported his team, helped this backup quarterback who was now going to be the starter, helped him prepare, and did not complain. He later admitted, of course, he was pissed, hurt, disappointed, all that, but he was able to keep it together. Like, this is something I have to work on. I don't think I could have did it, I'm gonna be honest. But just like the last time in his life where he was held out of games, albeit for very different reasons, man, he used it as fuel. I felt like it made me a little hungrier for sure. I was very upset. I did my best in not showing that to my teammates. My teammates were kind of confused, like, you're a 5th-year senior. You got benched. Why are you okay with this? I'm not big on sulking and complaining. I don't even understand why people complain. Well, after the guy who came in to replace him, Shane Morris, played horribly, Devin got his spot back. Michigan won a few more games, but they finished with a 5-7 record, and Devin's numbers and his tape were pretty deplorable at this point. So his draft stock that wasn't super high to begin with had now plummeted. If you look at his career at Michigan, he kind of got a raw deal in many respects. He had 3 different offensive coordinators, changed positions multiple times, had a bad O-line, and due largely to that last one, he had to deal with a bunch of injuries. Still, never one to complain, Devin told NFL teams that he was willing to play whatever position. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Today we got like a bunch of high-profile quarterbacks transferring. You got people like Lamar Jackson refusing to run the 40. Some players skipping bowl games. And I think what we're seeing is these players start to, like what I was talking about in the beginning, they're starting to take that wheel earlier. You know what I'm saying? And take some control of their own lives and their own careers, which to me just makes way more sense than leaving your future up 100% to somebody else who may not have your best interests at heart. They're not actively trying to mess over you. They're just more concerned with them doing well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Devin might have went with the flow a little bit too long. And of course, hindsight is 2020, but let's use that 2020 vision to learn from Devin's situation. That's all I'm saying. But let me know what y'all think about that in the comments section. If you disagree with me, that's cool. Just, explain why. Devin went undrafted and was then picked up by the Patriots, who released him a few months later. Now, the Patriots had picked him up as a wide receiver, but after he was released by them, the Steelers picked him up and he had an opportunity to play quarterback. That didn't work out either. What he did next is the polar opposite of what he'd allowed to happen in his college career. He took control. Devin, along with his former Michigan teammate Mark Gallen, signed with a semi-pro team in Japan. In 2016, Devin won Rookie of the Year of that league. And it's kind of odd because who goes to Japan to play football? It's just really odd. Also, Devin said he had opportunities to play in Canada, even had a few opportunities to still play in the US, but decided to go with the Japan route. Maybe he got fed up with the media scrutiny that he had to deal with over here. Maybe he wanted to go back to a level of football that was a little bit more fun than business. Or maybe it's business related and they paid him a boatload of money. I don't know. What I do know is he made his own choice. All right, and he seems to be happy with it because, again, he won Rookie of the Year in 2016. After that year, he said he had even more opportunities to go to Canada or come back to the U.S. and play. Now, he's not specifying if this is NFL or if this is like another semi-pro league or arena or something like that. I have no idea. But he still opted to stay in Japan. So I guess he's happy there. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. That is the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Is to attain happiness whilst being able to take care of your responsibilities. You feel me? As long as you can do that, as long as you can take care of responsibilities and you're happy, you money. Either way, that's what happened to Devin Gardner, man. He's over there balling out in Japan. Let me know why y'all think he went to Japan. Like, why Japan? Assuming he had other options. If he didn't have any other option, then, you know, the answer would be obvious then. But he say he had other choices. Anyway, man, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget, click the thumbs up button. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know who y'all want to see next. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna holler at you next time. FlemLo Raps, man. Bye.